I'm glad to have Dr. Prabhu. He is a medical doctor in 32 years in epigenetics and has a very deep research in the water, what kind of the good water and how is it related to our health. How does this healthy water help in our gut health and hence will increase our immune system. So without further delay, I think there is some guidelines for this webinar. Yeah. So first of all, must switch off your video if you are not in a proper attire. So make sure you're wearing the clothes, and do not interpret in between by unmuting your device. Yeah. So that means when you during the presentation, just stay mute until Dr. Prabhu finish all the presentation, then you unmute if you have any question. So do not allow the children to disrupt the flow of presentation. Sorry, there's my kids also interrupt. So if there is a kids need to interrupt, maybe you need to stop your video or mute yourself. As far as possible, keep a pen and pencil to a pen to write a paper to write down the points that we share. Yeah, in fact, you also can take picture. It will be easier for the important points that you want to learn in case you forgot. We also will try to do some recording and then share with all of you for us. So stay inside the group that we usually you are in. So we appreciate that if you do not ask any question due to the medical issues, disease as far as possible, you must meet your doctor to inquire more details. Yeah, the reason is because it's better to let the doctor consult you because she knows well your condition and can do the proper check on your condition. So what we want to emphasize that the water, terahertz water, actually is to let your body cell have sufficient water, and then it will do the self healing by itself. So this one, in fact I have done many experiments on myself and my kids, and it is really works. It really works. We don't have to spend money to see doctor. But if you have chronic disease, better let the doctor advise you accordingly if you want to reduce medicine, etc. So enjoy this presentation and improve your knowledge. So we welcome the participant to share your experience after drinking the terahertz water. Yeah. Okay. I think Dr. Prabhu, maybe you want to enlarge your screen, or is it my problem? So let's not further delay. We have a great applause to invite Dr. Prabhu on board. Thank you, Dr. Prabhu. Pass the mic to you.
A warm welcome to every one of you. Blessed morning to all of you. It's a great day today, and 30th of January. Thank you very much. It's because of you all that I am here. Thank you very much. So today, I can't believe that I have completed 10 weeks of my presentation, and it's the 10th episode today. And today is going to be the final gut part, which is the fourth one, the final clearance of our whatever we eat is our today's presentation will be. Of course, for those of who are new, I'm into the wellness industry, but my basic qualification is an ENT surgeon, but I went on trained myself on stem cell therapy, energy therapy, and now I'm an epigenetic consultant, which is, go into your cellular level and the root cause of the disease. We pick up those information and then we assist you in the body. So being a doctor, it took almost 33 years of my journey down here to make myself better. So the only situation, if I'm able to speak to you like this today, is my passion to do something wherein upgrade myself in terms of my knowledge, my experience, and then share it among the people. So always I've been in the forefront of acquiring the knowledge and sharing the knowledge, and that became a basis of my presentation, wherein it helps me a lot to uplift my knowledge as well. So saying so, welcome you all for today's presentation. But today there is going to be something very beautiful, sharing of one of my patient, which since 1.5 months I'm treating her, and I will share that in my last slides. Before that, let me go on with my presentation. And today, okay. So today we are going to complete the presentation with our rectum, which is the final collection center of whatever we have eaten. If you see in the slide here, if probably Apple had a vision, had a brain to even speak to you, what the Apple would have told you is, hello human being, I was full as an apple yesterday morning when I was there in the tree, but you it and you ate it. You put inside your mouth and then you took it inside. But finally, what happened? Everything mashed up. You picked up all the good things what I had in me, and finally you're throwing the poop out, which many times, if you see, it's not used anywhere in the world. Whereas when you look at the animals, especially the cows, cow dung, it is used for many, many functions. Now, why is that our human poop is most of the time not beneficial in many areas is because the food we eat, the toxins we consume is something which is a poison which goes inside your body, and then of course when it comes outside is also a poison. But the same thing goes with the cows as well. Today, if the cow is actually eating a lot of polluted grass, definitely the cow dung also will be poisonous. And that's where when we see the food what we eat can be hampered because of all these toxins. Now, saying so, let's go into the next situation wherein, of course, just a recap, the mouth starts with the digestive process, then it travels to your stomach, then churns like an mixie, then gets into your intestine, wherein the intestine does all the job of picking up all the important ingredients which is necessary for the body. But many a times you should understand that if the poison is there inside the food what you're eating, automatically the body tries to as far as possible throw it out. But many a times, because the poison has been a little smaller and then goes on in and in and in every day for many number of years, your body also has no choice but to absorb these poisons inside your body. And that is where most of us, as of today, we may not feel that we have a disease or we are unhealthy because it's all in a smaller proportion but distributed equally inside your body at your cellular level. Now, when this is happening, suddenly one fine day when you're 50 years old, that is when you will notice that there are some situations where the disease pops in, and when you go to the hospital, you are told you have a cancer, you have blood pressure, you have a diabetes, or whatever the disease. Now, we doctors are an expert in picking up the diseases, and that's where allopathy has been a great, what do you say, a great help in many areas. Because if you look at what medical field was 50 years ago and what it is today is something very beautiful. It is helping a lot of people with diseases, but that is called illness and the diseases. But if you are looking at wellness, there are a lot of other things you need to do. So today what we are going to do is, after the final absorption of all your nutrients, it comes to a final chamber wherein it needs to go out. So it is waiting for the disposable. Now this is called something called rectum. This place is where all your digested food and which your body feels it's a waste, it needs to be thrown out. But when you look at the problems, what we commonly face in our day-to-day life is constipation. This is very commonly I see. Now, what do you understand by constipation is if someone doesn't clear your bowels, doesn't visit the toilet in a 2 days time, that means 48 hours, we understand that it is a situation like constipation. Now, there are a lot of people who are actually probably clearing the bowels every 2 days once. Now, just imagine if you're passing the bowels 2 days once, in 365 days, you minus 50%. That means it will be 180 times you will be clearing your bowels. Now, whatever food you ate today morning, if you're going to clear it day after today, tomorrow morning, now what happened? It takes 8 to 10 hours or 48 hours for the bowels to clear. maximum 12 hours for the body to clear up, pick up all the nutrients, put it back into your rectum for it to be thrown out. Now, from there, what happens if your waste product is kept for more than 24 hours, a lot of bad bacteria which can start growing inside, and you can feel bloated sensation. A lot of poisonous like gases also is released by your bacteria. So when it is released, what your body will do is it will automatically get absorbed whether you like it or not, because there is a blood flow in the chamber of excretion. There is a lot of blood flow. So what happens, it gets picked up by your body. And this is where, if you are a person where you're not clearing your bowels regularly, what would happen is you can feel lethargic, you can have a headache, you can have many diseases and many situations, pains, aches and pains, which is unexplainable. So I have seen in my clinic where people have cleared the bowels once in a week. Have you ever heard of this? But I have seen people, but they would look normal, and then of course they will come with vague symptoms with me in my clinic. And then at the end of the day, what will happen is the first question I will ask, do you clear your bowels? And they say no. So the first option for me would be is to regularize the bowels to at least every day once. But in reality, 2 times in a day is always better. And if it is once a day, it's still good. But if it is 2 day once, it's no good. If it is 3 day once, is no very good, not a very good idea. But if it's more than 4 to 5 days and 6 days, definitely it is not at all a good sign for you. Now, other than that, the very common problems we see is, of course, cancer of the rectum is very common. And other than that, piles, bleeding, especially when you pass motion, there will be bleeding. Now, if it is because of your constipation, hard motions, and you're passing bleeding, so once we treat the what do you say the constipation, everything starts reverting back. But there are some situations because of the blood vessels swollen up there, you call it as piles or hemorrhoids. Whether you like or not, there will be bleeding, before you just go sit in the toilet, there will be a lot of blood coming out. That is something very dangerous. And then of course, in a long run, when you're looking at hemorrhoids, is a problem because you're losing blood from your body. But on one side, if it is just the blood, maybe we get scared. But on the other side, if it is a painful situation where there are other problems which can happen because of the bleeding, that is going to be a real situation where we must be concerned. That's when you need to seek a doctor's attention to clear your situation. Of course, there are a lot of medical ways of management, surgical way of management. I'm not going to with the details. But for you to avoid, can you believe this piles problem is only seen in human beings? You know why? Because we stand erect, and there is a gravity which is going on, pulling your blood circulation down to the legs. And so when your rectum is almost at the lower end, of course the gravity is more nearer to the earth. So that is where we are more prone. We have never seen any animal which walks on 4 legs on this planet as having piles. So this is one of the major issue that human beings, we because stand up and walk, we are facing this problem. Now that is where if you see in the Indian tradition of yoga, standing upside down on your head is a tradition which they practice in yoga, because when you go anti-gravity, there is a lot of good benefits for your legs and your calf muscles to push the blood back into your heart. And especially when you go upside down, your blood flow to your brain also increases. But this, I have to be little careful in advising people with blood pressure, with stroke. Of course they cannot. But this is for younger children and younger age group. People can do try and practice it regularly. But here I am practicing this particular going on head very frequently every day, and it gives me a lot of good benefits. Now, coming back to certain tips, you need to understand that how do you clear your bowels regularly. Now, you need to manage stress, very important, because every time everybody talks about stress, but not many people are giving a solution for stress. One of the easiest way for you to manage your stress is for a minimum of 15 minutes. Take time and do a breathing exercise. So how do you breathe? Number one, 5 seconds take in deep breath. 5 seconds you hold the breath, and 10 seconds you You release the breath slowly. Now, if you can do this in 1 minute, you would be breathing 3 times. Now, amazingly, in 1 minute, most of the human beings will be breathing 15 times, but you're bringing it down to 3 times. So what happens? The moment you start breathing very slowly, your brain waves will start coming down. Number one. Number two, your energy fields start increasing. Number three, your stress level or your aggressiveness in a given situation will automatically come down. It's an automatic process. You don't need to do anything. Always they will say, when you're angry, take deep breaths, because when you're angry and in a rage situation, your breath can go up to between 50 to 60 per second, which is very high. And that time your oxygen to your blood, your brain also will be very less, to other parts of the body also will be very less. So you need to be very, very careful. So manage your stress very beautifully every day. Practice breath technique, you will do very well. Take water. Now this is where, see, where terahertz water is coming into the picture, because water intake must be optimal, of a minimum of 2 to 3 liters per day. But those days, like last time, people used to say you drink 8 glass of water, that is 200 ml, as we consider as 1 glass, so is 1600 ml. If you're telling me that okay, 30-40 years ago you used to be advised to drink 1008 glass of water, I totally agree with you. But today, let me tell you, this 1600 ml water is not sufficient at all. You know why? Very simple reason. We have too much of toxins in the food, in the air, in the water. Now, with lot of toxic metals and heavy pesticides inside your food, what happens? It will block the absorption of whatever food or water inside your body. So you need to consume a little more of water. So that is where a minimum of 2 to 3 liters of water is definitely appropriate for today, 2021. You need to drink a little more of water. But such of those who are having cardiac issues, kidney problems, you know, they are the ones should be a little more careful. You need to get in touch with your doctor and follow what your doctor advises. This is very important. Now, other than that, you need to have a fixed timings. Maybe half an hour to 1 hour this side and that side, it's still okay. But clear your balls every day. Make it a point. Every day you need to clear your balls. Now, many a times what will happen is, I would normally advise you, take a lot of plantain, bananas. If you eat bananas, of course your bowel movements are more easy. Eating papaya definitely will help you to clear your bowels much more easily. And other than that, drinking virgin coconut oil of 5 to 10 ml bedtime will help your bowel movements to be more easier next time. So you give it a try, and whatever best possible your body gets accommodated, go with it. Because whatever I say need not be a gospel to the truth of individual. So you need to see how your body is responding. So go with your body's response. Other than that, consume a lot of fiber in your food, lot of green leaves, lot of uh, nutrient related and not tinned food, processed food, avoid it. Okay. Other than that, definitely drinking sufficient amount of water will help the process of digestion in the as 80% is absorbed in the intestine. So you need to drink sufficient amount of water. Now, coming back, being healthy with optimized health is your choice. So you need to work what your body works at its best. It's your body which knows. So you need to work on individually, see how you can. Now, if your body can heal by itself from any external threats, it could be fever, it could be flu. I'm talking about simple issue, even a throat problem, and your body without taking medication, if you can heal itself and come out of it, that means you're a healthy individual. But many of us think that absence of a disease, that means we don't have a disease, and we think we are very healthy. But let me tell you, 70% of the total population is subclinically unhealthy. That means you and I definitely will be subclinically unhealthy. But if we can optimize your health by eating the right food, doing regular exercise, and having the right thinking, definitely we all can live on this planet earth much more peacefully, if possible avoiding the disease coming inside and moving forward. Now, just to recap, that we all need to understand, we have the cells all joined together form the tissue, and the tissues form the organ, and the organs as forms the whole human body. Now, for most of you, you should understand that when you come to an allopathy doctor, most of us, we would see you at the organ level. When we do a blood test, when we do a x-ray, when we do a scanning, it's all at the organ level. So that means the first two processes already happened, and that is when your disease is coming in. So you need to understand that treating a disease doesn't work at the organ level. Maybe you can contain the disease to a little extent, but if you see in a given situation, most of the time the disease is still persisting inside you. This very commonly you would have seen. For example, doctor told you you have a cancer. Okay, you went in for a treatment and everything all okay in 1 to 2 years time, and you're healthy. A doctor will check you and tell you everything is fine. But after 5 years, once again you go back to the doctor. Doctor will say, yes, once again a little bit has grown, madam. So that means from where the cancer has come back. That means at the organ level it is hiding. So no, these diseases are also very, very smart. They start hiding under the bed, under the carpet, and many times we don't even know. So that is where, if we can handle our cellular level, things will be much more beautiful. So start looking at how do you help your cellular health, which is what is going to be the future. And this is what is called epigenetics, where we work at the cellular level, correcting the problems which causes the disease process. So very simple, look at the cellular level. Food, air, and water is a very, very important ingredient, the three things of life. And everything is polluted as of 2021, and a lot of fast foods are available. So please keep a watch, avoid as much as fast foods. Go with the regular traditional, what 30, 40 years our ancestors, like our grandparents, were doing. Get into that. The air quality is so bad, you and I cannot do anything about the air quality. It will be there because of the industrialization, because of the more vehicles. But in your home, this is a request to every one of you. In your home, you will buy a house of a 500,000 or even 100,000 or 200,000. You will buy a house, but please see to that in your bedroom, which you spend a minimum of 7 to 8 hours sleeping and resting, you should have a good quality of air inside your bedroom. So please invest in a good air cleaner inside your bedroom, so that your air you breathe is definitely good, to give you more oxygen for your body, at least when you're sleeping, when the body is rejuvenating. Now, other than having a good air filter in your home, if there is a possibility for you to get a ozonator, means a situation where this unit will produce a little more oxygen, ozonator. If it is possible for you to get, do look into it, because that is another area where you need to work on. So food part, be careful. Air, please look into this. And other than that, as far as possible, the air quality inside your bedroom. If you're looking at air conditioning definitely is not a good supportive tool for good health, because when you're using a 16 degrees air conditioning in your bedroom, your vessels goes into a spasm. Just think of it. Your liver is trying to do the metabolism of, rejuvenating and throwing out all the waste, right? Now your blood flow starts crumpling up because of the coldness. Now what happens? The blood flow to your liver also will be hampered. So what job the liver is supposed to do, you are actually slowing down the liver's job by making your aircon at 16 degrees. So normally the temperature what you need to have in your aircon is, should be, if outside temperature is 30 degrees, minus 3 degrees, it should be between 20 to 27 degrees is ideal for your body. Now, this is very, very important. So this is where we need to understand. But if you're working in an office wherein it's definitely 16 degrees, it's totally a different, but no choice. You cannot do anything. But as far as possible, if there is a provision in your office to switch off the aircon 15 minutes before you leave the office, switch it off, let your body get used to the normal temperature, and then go out, your body is balanced. But if not, from 16 degrees you go out, suddenly the temperature is 30 degrees, and your temperature, which was 16 degrees inside, your body gets a little confused, and you go on giving the shock every time, every day to your body. The body also will think this fellow is not going to change, so let me do my job. So what happens? The diseases will start coming into you without you even noticing it. Now coming back finally to water, that is where today I am here, because The terahertz water is something so beautiful. That's where I am down here. So water, let's go into the details. Now, water is an important area wherein it does a lot of beautiful functions in the body. Number one, if you see, it carries all the nutrients, oxygen, temperature balancing, everything happens, goes inside. With the water only we'll be able to do. Now the same has to come out as well. That is when the toxic and the waste products, carbon dioxide, all comes out of your cell. This system, without you even knowing, it has been happening all the time, every second in your body. You don't even know. There are trillions, 50 trillion cells in your body, and each cell is doing some function or the other without you instructing. So what goes in must come out, right? So this is where, if you're putting in a lot of toxins and unwanted materials inside, so what food you eat, what you put inside your mouth, please watch it. Please watch it. The reason is, what you put when it comes out also, in between what happens, that is where we all face the problem. So other than that, water plays a very, very important role in flushing of toxins and the waste. Very important. So you need to have the right amount of water in your body so that it can do the job of cleansing. Now water is an important element in our body, but just by drinking water may not be a solution to be healthy in today's polluted world. Please note, in this polluted world, water is an important thing, but it may not be the only situation. Now, for your body to totally function, do you know how many vitamins, minerals, amino acids, all these put together, how many? We need 92 vitamins, minerals, amino acids, carbohydrates, fat, all together joined is almost 92 ingredients you need for your optimal health. It's not just taking, so some people will be telling, doc, I'm taking vitamin C. So what? So it doesn't make any sense. You are just taking one. So better to balance your food in such a way that you have everything, and it should be going on changing. Changing is very, very important. Don't eat the same food all the time. Now, other than that, what you need to do is you need to balance your food habits, and you should have a holistic approach. Try different foods. Include a lot of vegetables and fruits in your diet, which is very, very important. So I would say 70% of your food should contain vegetables and fruit. 30% you can have your non-vegetarian and other food, whatever you are going to have, it can be 30%, but majority should be vegetables and fruits, because you are manufactured by the divine to eat more of vegetables and fruits. So look into it, and it's the key for you to get into health. Now, hydration is crucial for bodily function, but at the same time, please understand, less of water is also a problem. That means hydration is low is also not a good situation. Overhydration, anything overdone also is not a good idea. But here on the slide, if you can see, most of the time 42 like a young adult with 70 kgs weight, he has 42 liters of water in his body. Can you believe 42 liters of water? Out of that, can you see that 28 liters is inside the cell? That means to say, at least if you're talking about 50 trillion cells, can I say that 70% of the cells, if it is hydrated well, that means they are able to do their function more beautifully than you can expect. But if you don't give an opportunity of the water specifically to enter inside your cell, then who is at problem? The cell will say, okay, fine, you're not going to give me water, I have no problem, I will shrink and die, I have no issues. But if one cell dies, is not a problem in the 50 trillion cells. If there are 100 cells dying, it's still okay. But if, imagine if thousands of cells are going to die, definitely you will not be able to move forward in your life, because you need the cells at the cellular level for them to function optimal. So in that way, your intracellular water content plays a very, very important role. So in that way, drinking the right water, because if the water molecule is very big, definitely it cannot go inside your cells. Now, the same, some people will ask me, doc, if that is the case, my grandparents and all were drinking the normal water. What that time they never had terahertz water, they never had ionized water. But let me tell you, if your water was from a natural source, it could be a river water, unpolluted river water, from a well, unpolluted well water, oasis water, then water from underground on from in any areas, spring water. those days it was very clean, and the molecular structure definitely was very, very small. So when the molecular structure was very small and there was no pollutants inside the water as well, so the water getting inside your cell was much more easier. So that is where our ancestors were much more healthier. Of course, when they had a disease, they had a issue where, of course, the doctors couldn't help them and they died. That is a different story. But today, medical fraternity has grown. It can help a lot of people where we can prevent the death. But at the same time, you need to understand today how is your situation, you balance according to what is necessary. Now dehydration is also a problem, overhydration is also a problem. Both is a problem, so that way you need to have a very, very balance. But I would say dehydration is a much more problem in this universe of today, because most of us are not sufficiently drinking enough water to supply water to your cells so that they do their job. And many a times when the cellular hydration goes unnoticed, there will be a lot of metabolic disturbances. This is where, if you see, I will share uh, here in the past 3 months, there are a lot of beautiful people where they told, doctor, after consuming this terahertz water, my diabetic sugar, the sugar levels has come down. Now that is beautiful. That means the metabolism has increased and there the glucose utilization is better. But at the same time, I have come across people saying, doctor, I'm drinking this water for almost 2 to 3 months, but my diabetes is not controlled. Now here, what I tell these people is, so that means what? Just drinking terahertz water is not sufficient enough. Probably you need to work on a little more deeper. Now there was one person where when I did a testing, I found that he has been drinking water, but diabetes not under control. So when I looked at it, there are a lot of deficiencies added, a lot of toxic elements in his body. So what happened? These are all the stumbling blocks for his diabetes to get control. So this is where we need to see it is a holistic approach. That is when we help the people by looking into all the situations. So drinking sufficient water and preventing dehydration plays a very important. And overhydration, I think it's only few people who are drinking more water and having a problem. So for such of those, if you're drinking more water, just be careful. See to that, you need to consume sufficient to your body. Check out with your doctors and then see how much of water you need to drink. So coming back to our terahertz technology, of course, before starting of this, we did show you a lot of videos. There are a lot of situations. Now there is something connected with water. That's the reason I am down here, so that we share the information. So what is happening? Terahertz technology is being used to resonate the water, and for which they are using a 0.96 to resonate the water. And thereby, when they did that, and what did they find? Let me go into the next slide. What did they find? The beautiful properties of terahertz resonated water are almost 10 different situations: antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antioxidant effect, anti-radiation, low viscosity of around 680, minus 680, angulation increased by 5, and hardness of water is reduced, and absorption of minerals is better, and absorption water is much better. That means 3 times more than the normal water. So that means your BMR also will be increased. And other than that, the linear arrangement, that means they all stand in one line for the water for better absorption of your cell. Other than that, of course, there is a lot of cellular, especially the telomere support, and the energy field support is already there. But I think in the future, there will be a lot of clinical evidences where they show that by drinking the terahertz water, resonated water, the telomere probably is lengthening, can be shown. Probably in the future, we will have it. Now, other than that, when the company has given all the documents for us to move forward with all the whatever, if they are saying your antibacterial, the company has already done the testing and then they are giving you. The company has tested the device with the military in China, and there is a law. They have the certification. Even the viscosity, can you see 680 times after 3 minutes? Just the 3 minutes of terahertz, it can do the job. Antioxidant effect is there, and the water molecule. Can you see there? It's around 3 to 5 degrees. It has opened up. So these are all the research and the certification what the terahertz company has, which is an advantage for every one of us to boldly look into it and then start consuming it without hesitation, But at the end of the day, each body will definitely respond and react in a different ways. But with a company background, with all the certification, for us it makes things much more easier to move forward. Now here it shows a very beautiful thing. When it is clustered, the water molecule going inside will be difficult. When it is linear, the water molecule penetrating inside is much more easier. So the very important information, the terahertz device, it works on 0.96 terahertz. That's the level of terahertz technology they use to resonate the water. The molecular width of the water is 2 nanometers, very small, and the frequency of the water is 7.6 hertz. This is a very standard company has given us, so it becomes easy for us to let know people that these are the properties of our terahertz low frequency resonated water molecule. Now, what is the benefit? Now, if you look at the way the universe has given us, it's a low frequency oscillation is between 0.5 to 15, and our living cells at what hertz are they functioning? 0.3 to 13 hertz, and brain cells resonate between 0.3 to 30 hertz. Now, if you look at when it is that level of lower frequency, we need to look into whatever is at the lower frequency will help you. For example, if you're looking at higher frequency, your mobile phone, your Wi-Fi, your radiographic techniques, and all these are all high frequency. No, when there is a high frequency, it definitely affects your cell. Keeping your phone near your ear for more than 5 minutes is going to cause more problem and damage to your brain cells. But how many of you speak over the phone for 5 minutes and disconnect it? We don't do it because we speak to people for half an hour, 1 hour continuously, and that too with the Wi-Fi technology. Most of us actually become addicted to all these technological advances, at the same time screwing up our own healthy situation. No exercise, no proper food, no proper breathing, all these lead to diseases. And suddenly once the disease, then they jump into the train, come to the hospital and expect a doctor to do some miracles to do, so that they want healing to happen. Definitely healing will not happen because you did not put the efforts of taking care of your body. So from today, such of those, please take care of yourself by proper discipline, proper habits. You have to develop some good habits so that, at least whatever number of years you're going to live in the future, maybe 10 years, 20 years, live healthily and go. Why you want to invite diseases and then finally land up and then start from pillar to post, run from hospital to hospital looking for cures? No, you don't need to. You are an intelligent being. Please work on yourself. So in that way, drinking this low resonant water, easy absorption, better toxic materials can be cleared, better hydration to the cells, and better absorption of nutrients is the good benefits on that. And so what happens when you do this? Your cells are healthy, your functions of the cells are healthy, better control of diseases. See, I'm very specific here. Better control of diseases. What does it mean? That means if you have already an existing disease, there are very high chances that it can be controlled to a level of minimization of the complication or maybe reversal of the disease. If reversal of the disease, I salute every one of you who have been reversing the disease, because that's good. But many of you, please note that you will be having the disease within you. Maybe your readings are little different after drinking the terahertz water is a good sign. But at the same time, please monitor what you're doing, change your habits, change the day-to-day life. Definitely, I guarantee you, you'll become more healthier. Do not go with the readings. Do not get excited by suddenly after drinking water this happens, that. Do not get into that mode of living. Go slow, give time 6 months to 1 year for your body to become better. So illness to wellness should be your focus. Okay, illness is I is you. When we say we, you have to combine your whole body, give an option for all the organs to work for yourself. For example, if you're talking about diabetes is a disease of the sugar metabolism. No doubt it is a situation where pancreas is involved, but in reality, I would say diabetes is a dietary disease. That means to say you control your diet, definitely your disease of diabetes can be controlled very well, and then probably you can reverse it. So in that way, I would say reversing diabetes is not a big deal at all, provided we work on it. But once you screw up your whole body organs in from different angles over a period of time, and suddenly you come and tell doctor, help me to reverse my diabetes, I can help you, but it will be difficult for us. But definitely you can work on it. It is always definitely possible. Always look at possibilities. Now here, Tara's resonator is a very simple device with what you see on the photograph there with a jug, what the company gives you, 3.5. Now, the company has done a research and see to that when they resonate in a 3.5-liter jug, it is ideal. 3 minutes, everything is done. This is a testing. This is what the water has been given for testing, and the whatever report I showed you previously is the company's. Now, if you see people out there terahertzing a 5-liter water, 10-liter water, it is not an ideal situation and we are not supposed to do it. But what to do for convenience, people are out there are doing, but I would recommend please look in it, do it in the jug and then pour it in a bottle will be always better. Now, other than that, it's easy to operate because it works on a power bank. You don't need to look for a plug point, and just 3 minutes it can now this is the third generation the company has come. Now imagine the first generation, probably it would have been 2 hours after resonating. Probably the second generation was 30 minutes, but now they have come out with 3 minutes. Probably the next fourth or fifth generation will be just zip, it will come in few seconds, 5 seconds, I think it will be done totally and then resonated. But let's wait. And you can resonate not minimum of 20,000, 30,000 times to 40,000 times is not a problem. So the device life is very long. We don't need to worry about it unless you drop it down, unless the water enter inside, then it's a problem. But if you can take care of this, the example I normally give is X-ray machine which we use in our clinics. The moment we install, it can stay for 25 years, 30 years, no problem. The X-ray will be functioning very beautifully. So this is something like that. So you don't have to worry about, as long as it is working for you for 1 to 2 years without any issues, be happy. For the investment, what you have done is good enough. Now, other than that, advantages of the Terra's water is this resonated water. Definitely, it can be boiled. So, such of you those want to make coffee, all these, please go ahead and do it. Number two, it has tried. The company has tried giving a lot of pressure, exposing to X-rays, no changes the molecular structure. Now once you terahertz the water, it can be kept in a glass container for a minimum of 6 weeks, but there are situations we have tried up to even 8 months, still the molecular structure is still the same. It's But we do not advise you on the longer duration because it's not necessary. Go for freshly prepared, and then you can drink the water fresh, will be much more beneficial, because definitely that is always an option. Anything fresh is always better. Certification, if you look at, I am very happy to let know that Singapore, Angie and the group of people down there took all the pain to get the certification, and they got a certification from the Singapore authorities regarding the safety and the molecule, everything they have taken. So it gives an advantage for us. So that is a good news for us. So always place it in a glass container, mud pot, ceramic, food grade containers is always better. Now avoid, they say avoid it in a metal containers, because if you're going to keep for more than 2 to 3 hours, you better avoid keeping it in a metal. But there are people asking us, doctor, today the boilers and all inside it is steel, like your heating elements, it's definitely a steel. So what happens is, if you are using the metal containers for heating water, it's okay, because you will probably use it for making coffee or tea, right? But other than that, for drinking purposes, keep it in a glass container or ceramic or mud container. Exposing to sunlight in a plastic container of a terahertz water is not a good one, because the efficacy can go down. And as far as possible, freshly prepare it and drink it. And as I told you, do not terahertz a container which is more than 1 feet. That is, you see our jug, if it is bigger than that, definitely the efficacy may not be the same. So you need to be a little concerned on what you are doing. So be clear in what you are doing. And ideally, it's better to use the company's jug, and do not use this instrument directly on your skin, because I did came to know that someone was doing that. Please do not, because there is no safety measures which the company has told, and I also wouldn't advise. But There are terahertz machines available which you can expose to your face. It is there, provided you have the certification, then we can go. But here our company has not given the certification for exposing directly onto your skin, right? Because I have seen people trying to put it on the wound, all these circus. If you want to do it, is your risk, you have to do it on your own. But I would not advise you to try all that. Other than that, how do you know your body is consuming the right water? If by doing a live blood cell, if your cells on the left side like this, beautifully round with the hydration, that means you're good enough. But if your water is not sufficient inside your cell, it will be shrink. If you can see on the right side, there are a lot of shrinked cells what you see with irregular. So this particular person has a lot of dehydration. So this is where you need to understand that when the cells are clumping together, that means your water is not sufficient. And the best part of the terahertz water is it contains very, very high energy. So when it has high energy, when two cells are having the water inside, they cannot get attached together. That means they cannot get clumped. So that means they can work independently. So when you work independently, there's a lot of good benefits. So for which you need to have a proper hydration. Now, this is the one which I wanted to share with you. Definitely, I want to preserve the privacy of my patient. That's the reason I don't want to tell her name, and I'm not going to show her photographs. It's going to be a narrative story where I'm going to share. This particular patient, a 37-year-old lady, came in married, no children, on the 14th of December, referred to me by another doctor. She was looking very sick, face already swollen, legs were swollen. And because this one is in the first floor, for her to climb the stairs was very difficult. She was actually breathless as she was coming inside. And the diagnosis was she had a polycystic kidney, both. And right kidney is almost gone. It had swollen so big. And in fact, hospital have already advised her to operate and take out the right kidney because it's already big enough and not functioning. And what I did was we did a hair root analysis, and then of course I did see a lot of deficiency. Our energy fields was zero. That means a very stressful condition. And the water intake was only 500 ml. The hospital had told, please take only 500 ml. And for her, she cannot lie down fully. She was sitting 45 degrees up because night time, if she lies down, she cannot breathe. And she was waiting for an appointment in the HKL for the removal of the right kidney. But as of today, she has not gone to the hospital because they are still yet to give her an appointment for the surgery. Now, what did I do? Is number one, I gave her a kidney support, then terahertz water. Now, this is where I'm very happy. I'm sharing this. I started with 250 ml, and now can you believe she is drinking 1 liter of terahertz water? And she says, Doc, I'm not going to drink more. Now, I was surprised when I saw her 2 days ago, and I did give her vitamin support injections, then boosted her energy with the bioenhancer. And the best part I noticed was her husband was an amazing soul. He was so very concerned with her health. He paid me the money. He picked up the terahertz unit and he took it. And now they own a terahertz unit. And the best part was 17th was her birthday, and the husband presented the terahertz unit as a gift for his wife. Now, don't you think this is something so beautiful? But the same situation, there was a person who is a dato, and having all diseases and 60 plus. I've been speaking to him about consuming this particular water for the past 4 months. Until today, he never bothered to investing money was not a big deal for him. But it never happened. The reason is, individually each person has their own perception. But I'm so happy with this particular person, and he's a crane operator. Can you believe, a crane operator, 4,500 was not a priority. So in the same way, when health is a priority, money is not at all a concern. Of course, you need to go back and then see, is it worth investing? There are so many things, groundwork you have to do. Please do it. But if you get the right information, don't wait. Because I have seen people, doctor, I want to wait until this person, gives me a feedback on how he feels after drinking this one. Then I said, forget it, no point. If you're waiting like that, sorry, it doesn't work that way. So what happens today, 2 days ago, when she came to me, she is so happy, and she could climb the stairs very easily, and there was no panting and breathlessness. She looked so bright, and the best part, no face swelling, no leg swelling, and she can climb the stairs and she can sleep better. Now she can lie down comfortably and very positive. And before this, she did share to me, doctor, I wanted to commit suicide, because I was fed up with the situation. And she is having this disease for I think 2010 they diagnosed. It's almost 10 years. Can you imagine? She is in the process of going in for a dialysis, and already 3 times they did the dialysis last month. And until now, she didn't go back. She says, I don't want to go back. But I have been telling, please go check your. So we are monitoring her. I am monitoring. So what happens? Man proposes and God disposes. God disposes, right? In the same way, you and I, we are all here on a purpose. Let's all move forward in a guarded approach is the key for your solution in every aspect. It is not only your health, it can be your business, it can be anything. You have to have a guarded plan of action. But ignorance sometimes is a bliss, but many times ignorance is a pain, because when you're ignorant, you will not have all the information what you need to have to move forward in your body. So such of those, today you're all here. I think you're a great soul, because without any second thought, I think you're all shared down here to listen to what I'm going to talk. I feel you people are done a great job with the positivity, clearing your ignorance. You're down here. So have a guarded approach in everything you do. So I'm very happy. I will be doing a lot of clinical. Now, this case itself is I'm going to document it. Only thing, I hope that she should get her surgery done, and then we move forward and help the other kidney, which is functioning a little bit, if by divine grace, with the terahertz water and other supportive measures what I'm giving, if she can recover and then no more dialysis for her, I think I would be very happy person. And such of you, you're all down there, please do send the blessings for this beautiful soul. And I think from here on, the universe is going to bless us with abundance. Balance is a very, very key. Balance is a very, very key for everything in your life. So when you're balanced, everything starts functioning. So terahertz water, whether you like it or not, it's going to rock the whole world in the next future, in the coming number of years. But at the same time, you should understand that when one company has come out with this technology, there will be other companies waiting to see at the end of the day, they want to make money. But here with terahertz group, what has happened is the company is more into giving up. So it is giving free water to a lot of people. So water is a basis, and our company is so beautiful that they want to share the water free. Now this is amazing. It's not just money part which is important. So please be prepared that with the same technology now, this our Terahertz Indian Broad is the first company in the world to come out with this technology, bring it to Malaysia, and the first country in the world to bring the concept of terahertz with the water technology and start selling it. Now, amazing. This is very beautiful for us. Now, if other companies, we bless everybody, let every company come down and then move. But if you are here with terahertz, enjoy this beautiful journey, move forward, help yourself, and help yourself in business as well, improve your journey. Now, other than that, you need to understand that start with lower dose of 500 ml, increase it to 1,000. So maximum you can drink is around 2,000 ml is sufficient enough. Other than that, mix up with the ordinary water so that it is more easier for your body. But such of those you say, doc, I am drinking 3 liters of Tera's water, I would say it's okay as long as your body is balancing it, it's okay. But just be a little cautious that when you're drinking too much of Tera's water, you may lose potassium chloride and sodium. So you need to add on this salt along, at least in a day, mix it a little bit in water. So in that way, one of the easiest thing you can do is 6-burn bamboo salt is very good, sufficient. Number two, if you have ORS sachets at home, just mix it in water and drink it. That's the second option you have. Third option you have, eat bananas. Fourth option you have, you can drink tender coconut water. So when you can add on this, especially when you notice that there is a little bit of muscle pain, little bit of tiredness after drinking this water, you need to understand that the salt in your body is less. So you need to just supplement it. So as you supplement, your body will be able to balance. Now you have to divide the water as 100 ml each every time. Do not gulp the water one shot half a liter. Please don't do that. And especially with people with kidney, lung, and heart diseases, please be careful. But there is nothing wrong in consuming terrage water, especially with these diseases. You better mix up initially, see whether your body is adjusting to it, and slowly increase the terrage water. So as long as you adapt to it, your body will be very beautiful. There won't be any reaction. There is nothing to worry, because at the end of the day, we all need to drink water. But there is one little word of caution. If you take 1,000 people, there will be two people. You give the best water also, they'll have problem. So that means if the two people are going to drink terahertz water, they can have reactions, they can have some problems, it may not suit them. All this will happen. We cannot do anything. So in that case, we do not know. If it is you, then you continue drinking the water. And here what happened was, I think I will share this also. This particular person is a doctor, and I did go to him and then share that there is a terahertz technology, water is good. You know what he said, Dr. Prabhu? Thank you very much. You know, doctor, I don't have any filter in my house. Can you believe he's a doctor? He says, I don't have any filter in the house. Number one. Number two, then how does he drink? I asked him, then how do you drink? He said, we catch directly from the tap, we boil the water, and we drink the water. And he is 53-year-old. He says, I have no problem. But when you ask me, he looks very sickly. Now, how can you change this kind of situation? You and I cannot change. Our job, speak to people. If there is a good option, if they decide to pick it up, it's okay. If they don't pick it up, it's still okay. Not everybody has to consume Taraz water. It doesn't work that way. And you all have to look into healing your body, not curing your body. Curing is not in your hands. Healing, you have to assist the body. Cure will automatically happen. So drink sufficient amount of water, and do not compare terahertz water with other brands of. It can be terahertz, it can be ionized water, it can be hydrogen water, it can be anything. Do not compare. If you think you want to compare, you compare, keep it to yourself. And which you feel is good, go for it. If you feel hydrogen water is going to do a good job, please go and drink that water. But do not come and go on questioning, asking us what is the difference between this, because we all cannot be spending time in going on giving information on how good is hydrogen water, how good is ionized water, how good is well water. How we can't be giving individually. You have to do the comparison. It's still okay, but at the end of the day, you decide. If you think it's a, see, like as I told you, the doctor friend wanted to drink only the normal water, tap water. It's his choice. So we have no force. But at the end of the day, what you need to do, this is a very simple trick which you need to do is, whenever you're drinking water or any liquid, holding the glass in your hand, please say I love you to the water a minimum of 9 times to the water. And then when you drink the water, it's like a blessed water. And say thanks to the water, and say a lot of love, send a lot of love and thanks to the food you eat. So when you do this, your body cells also acquire the love vibration, the thank you vibration. So your body starts healing. Have you seen a lot of people in the world without even being treated, just by going to a prayer or maybe a temple or a mosque, or they visit all these spiritually high vibration places, and they get healed. Drinking Zamzam water, there are so many people have. Drinking Ganga water, so many people have healed from diseases. Now, these are all situations available in the planet Earth. So our job is, if you can bless the water and drink it, it will be wonderful. The same way, send a lot of blessings to people around you, to your friends, to the society. Please send a lot of blessings in your prayers. That will bring in a lot of blessings. blessings to you as well. So now from today, take charge and take responsibility of your journey of life. Anything you do should be in moderation. That means in balance is good for you. And in the pursuit of cure, this is what is most of the time I see with the patient is, in the pursuit of cure of a disease, you will land up in confusion. Because when you speak to people about your disease, there will be a lot of suggestions coming to you telling you, You can do this, you can do that, this is good, that at the end of the day they want to sell the product to you. See, ultimately, you see, I have seen enough of this situation in my life, especially with multi-level marketing around in the world. And especially Malaysia, we have the maximum number of network marketing. Every day one new network marketing will be cropping up with new product, with some niche benefits in that. But at the end of the day, it is you who have to decide, should you consume it or not. If you think you need to consume it, try it out. If there is a good benefit, go with it. So ultimately what you need to do is, for a healing solution, you need to look at body, your mind and your soul holistically. Then what happens? Everything starts falling in place, and we all can have a fantastic life, you know. I am leading a fantastic life. I have reversed my diabetes, I have reversed my blood pressure, I have cleared my block, and today I have fantastic, beautiful journey. And I salute terahertz because I'm consuming the terahertz water left and right. I have no issues. I use it for my plants. I use it for my, spraying in my rooms for positivity energy. We use terahertz water. And terahertz water, and especially one tip I want to give you is, especially people with heart issues, lung issues, and kidney issues. Do you know the one of the best simple way for you to cellular hydration is spray the water over your body. Please use a spray as many times as possible over your skin, so that will absorb the water, and thereby your cellular hydration will take place, and that will not cause a problem to your heart or lungs, or your cellular overhydration, because when you consume it goes inside, but when you put from your skin, it's much more. This is something which I felt it's more easier for you to move forward. So this is another tip for people who are all, use a spray as many times as possible. And of course, as a doctor, I would disclaim that it is a cure for any diseases. It is a tool for healing. So in that way, move forward, drink, try, take responsibility and move forward, because this is going to be the future. So with this, I wish to thank Tara's company down here from Malaysia, and especially George Neo, who has done a great job assisting me, and he has given me an opportunity for 10 weeks. Thank you so much, George. Other than that, Angie, you're doing a great job. And of course, today my daughter couldn't join. And thank Akanksha, and thank every one of you, more than that 164 beautiful souls down here. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and bless you in abundance. And then but next week will be a different topic, totally not the gut. It will be an interesting topic. I think you all will love the topic. And thank you very much. And until I meet you again, bless you all, guys.